Hello, and welcome back to the Learn English Hub podcast. I am Sarah, and I am so happy to be here with you today for another English lesson. We hope you are having a wonderful and relaxing day wherever you are in the world.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I am Tom, and I am also very excited to be here with Sarah today. We have a very interesting and fun topic to talk about, and I think you will really enjoy it.
Yes, Tom, today we are going to talk about something we all do and something we all love. Today, our topic is cooking and food. Do you like cooking, Tom?
Oh, yes, Sarah, I really love food, and I quite like cooking too. I think cooking is very relaxing, and it is nice to make something delicious to eat. What about you, Sarah? Do you enjoy spending time in the kitchen?
I absolutely love cooking, Tom. For me, the kitchen is the best room in the house because it is warm and smells good. I cook every single day, usually for my family and my friends.
That is wonderful to hear. Cooking every day is good practice, just like learning English is good practice. When we do something every day, we get better at it, don't we?
You are exactly right, Tom. Practice is the key to everything, whether it is making a cake or speaking a new language. So let's start with the basics of cooking. What is the first meal of the day for you?
The first meal of the day is breakfast. I usually eat breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning before I start my work. It is a very important meal because it gives me energy for the day.
I agree, breakfast is very important. What do you usually like to cook for breakfast? Do you make something hot or do you eat something cold?
Usually, I like to make eggs. Eggs are very easy to cook and they are very tasty. Sometimes I boil the eggs in hot water, and sometimes I fry them in a pan.
Oh, I love eggs too. They are very versatile, which means you can cook them in many different ways. When you fry an egg, do you use butter or do you use oil?
That is a good question. I usually use a little bit of butter because I think butter tastes better with eggs. I put the butter in the frying pan, let it melt, and then I crack the egg into the pan.
That sounds delicious. I also like to have some bread with my eggs. Do you eat bread or toast with your breakfast?
Yes, I always have 2 slices of toast. I put the bread in the toaster, and when it is hot and crunchy, I put some butter on it too. It is a simple breakfast, but it makes me very happy.
Simple food is often the best food. I also like to drink something hot in the morning. Do you drink coffee or do you prefer tea?
I am definitely a coffee person. I cannot start my day without a big cup of hot coffee. I add a little bit of milk and a little bit of sugar to my coffee. How about you?
I prefer tea in the morning. I like black tea with lemon. I boil the water in a kettle, pour it into my cup, and let the tea bag sit for 3 minutes. It is very warm and cozy.
That sounds very nice. Okay, so we have talked about breakfast. Now, let's talk about lunch. Lunch is the meal we eat in the middle of the day, right?
Yes, exactly. Lunch is usually around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. For lunch, I often like to make something fresh, like a salad. Do you like salads, Tom?
Yes, I do like salads, especially in the summer when the weather is hot. A cold salad is very refreshing. What ingredients do you put in your salad?
I like to use many different vegetables. I always start with green lettuce. Then I chop some red tomatoes and some cool cucumbers.
Chop is a good word for our listeners. Can you explain what chop means?
Of course, To chop means to cut something into small pieces with a knife. So I take a knife and I chop the tomatoes into small cubes.
Thank you for explaining that. It is important to be careful with the knife when you chop vegetables. Knives are very sharp.
Yes, always be careful in the kitchen. After I chop the vegetables, I mix them all together in a big bowl. Do you put any dressing or sauce on your salad?
Yes, a salad needs some dressing for flavor. I usually mix olive oil and lemon juice. I also add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper.
Salt and pepper are very important seasonings. They make the food taste stronger and better. Sometimes, if I am very hungry, I add some protein to my salad, like chicken or cheese.
Chicken is a great idea. How do you cook the chicken for your salad? Do you bake it or do you grill it?
I usually grill the chicken in a pan. I cut the chicken into strips, put some oil in the pan, and cook it until it is white and brown. It takes about 10 minutes to cook the chicken.
That sounds like a very healthy and delicious lunch. But sometimes I want something warm for lunch. Do you ever make sandwiches?
Yes, I love sandwiches. A sandwich is very easy to take to work or to school. You need two pieces of bread, and you can put anything you want inside.
My favorite sandwich is a cheese and tomato sandwich. I slice the cheese and I slice the tomato. Slice is similar to chop, right?
Yes, they are similar. Slice means to cut something into thin, flat pieces, like a slice of bread or a slice of cheese. Chop usually means smaller, chunky pieces.
That is a very clear explanation. Thank you, Sarah. So, I slice the cheese and tomato, and I put them between the bread. Sometimes I toast the sandwich to make the cheese melt.
Melted cheese is so good. Melt means when a solid turns into a liquid because of heat, like ice turns to water, or hard cheese becomes soft and gooey.
Exactly. A warm toasted cheese sandwich is perfect for a cold day. Now, let's move on to the biggest meal of the day. Let's talk about dinner.
Dinner is my favorite meal to cook because I have more time in the evening. I am not in a rush like I am in the morning. I like to make pasta for dinner.
Pasta is a very popular food all over the world. It comes from Italy, but everyone loves it. How do you cook your pasta?
First, I need a large pot. I fill the pot with water and put it on the stove. I turn on the heat and wait for the water to boil.
Boil means the water is very, very hot and there are bubbles, right?
Yes. When you see big bubbles in the water, it is boiling. Then I put the dry pasta into the boiling water. I cook it for about 10 minutes until it is soft.
And what do you put on top of the pasta? Do you make a sauce?
Yes, I make a tomato sauce. I use onions, garlic, and fresh tomatoes. First, I peel the onion and the garlic.
To peel means to take off the outside skin of the vegetable. Onions and garlic have a paper skin that you cannot eat.
Correct. So I peel them and then I chop them very small. I cook the onion and garlic in a pan with some olive oil. The smell is amazing.
I can imagine the smell right now. Cooking onions and garlic smells like a real home. After they are cooked, do you add the tomatoes?
Yes, I add chopped tomatoes and let everything cook slowly. I stir the sauce with a wooden spoon so it does not burn. Stir means to mix it around in circles.
Stirring is important. If you do not stir, the food might stick to the bottom of the pan. That is bad.
Exactly. After the sauce is ready, I pour it over the pasta. I like to add some cheese on top, usually Parmesan cheese. It is a wonderful dinner.
That sounds fantastic. I also like to cook rice for dinner. Rice is very good with meat or vegetables. Do you like rice?
Yes, I eat rice often. It is very common in many countries. Cooking rice is a little bit different from cooking pasta.
Yes, with rice, the water disappears. The rice drinks the water. You have to measure the water carefully. 1 cup of rice usually needs 2 cups of water.
That is a good rule to remember. I also like to make soup for dinner, especially in the winter. Soup is very warm and healthy.
What is your favorite kind of soup? There are so many kinds: vegetable soup, chicken soup, tomato soup.
I really like potato and carrot soup. I peel the potatoes and carrots, chop them, and boil them in vegetable broth. Then I blend them until they are smooth.
Blend means to mix them very fast with a machine until they become a liquid, right? Like a smoothie?
Yes, exactly. I use a blender. It makes the soup creamy and thick. It is very comforting to eat soup with a piece of bread.
Comfort food is the best. It makes you feel safe and happy. Cooking is not just about eating, it is about feelings too.
I agree completely. But Tom, we cannot forget about the sweet things. We must talk about dessert. Do you like to bake?
I have a sweet tooth, which means I love sweet foods. I do like to bake cakes and cookies. Baking is a little bit like science.
Yes, with baking, you must be very precise. You must measure the flour and the sugar exactly. You cannot just guess.
That is true. If you use too much sugar, it is too sweet. If you use too much flour, the cake is hard and dry. You need a measuring cup.
What is your favorite cake to make? I love making chocolate cake. Everyone loves chocolate.
I like making banana bread. It is very easy. You need ripe bananas, flour, sugar, butter, and eggs. You mash the bananas first.
Mash means to crush them until they are soft, right? Like you do with potatoes.
Yes, I mash the bananas with a fork. Then I mix in the sugar and the butter. Then I add the flour and eggs. I mix it all together into a batter.
And then you put it in the oven. What temperature do you set the oven to?
I usually set the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. I bake the banana bread for about 1 hour. The house smells like sweet bananas.
That sounds lovely. I think baking is a great way to relax on the weekend. It is nice to share the cake with friends too.
Sharing food is one of the best parts of cooking. When you cook for someone, you show them that you care about them. It is a kind act.
That is a beautiful thought, Tom. Before we finish our main conversation, let's talk a little bit about grocery shopping. You cannot cook if you do not have food in the house.
You are right. I go to the supermarket once a week, usually on Saturday morning. I always make a list before I go.
A list is very helpful. If I do not have a list, I forget to buy things. Or I buy too many snacks that I do not need.
Me too! I walk down the aisles and look at everything. First, I go to the produce section. That is where the fruits and vegetables are.
I love the produce section because it is so colourful. You see red apples, orange oranges, yellow bananas, and green spinach. It looks very fresh.
I always check the fruit to make sure it is good. I touch the avocados to see if they are soft. I look at the apples to make sure they are not bruised.
That is smart shopping. Then I go to the dairy section. This is where the milk, cheese, yogurt, and butter are.
I always buy a carton of milk and a block of cheddar cheese. I also like yogurt for a snack. It is healthy and good for you.
Then there is the bakery section. The smell of fresh bread in the supermarket is wonderful. Do you buy bread or do you make it?
I usually buy bread because making bread takes a long time. I buy a loaf of whole wheat bread. It is better for my health than white bread.
After I get all my food, I go to the checkout counter. I put my food on the belt and the cashier scans the items.
Then you pay. Do you usually pay with cash or do you pay with a credit card?
I usually pay with my card. It is faster and easier. Then I pack my bags and go home to put everything in the refrigerator.
Putting the groceries away is the final step. You must put the cold food in the fridge quickly so it does not spoil. Spoil means to go bad.
Yes, we do not want the milk to spoil. Cooking involves a lot of steps. Planning, shopping, washing, chopping, cooking, eating, and cleaning.
Oh, cleaning. We forgot to talk about cleaning. That is the part I like the least, but it is necessary.
Yes, after you cook, you have many dirty dishes. You have dirty plates, dirty forks, and dirty pots. You must wash them.
I wash the dishes in the sink with warm water and soap. I use a sponge to scrub the plates. Then I dry them with a towel.
It is good to clean the kitchen immediately after you eat. Then the kitchen is ready for the next day. A clean kitchen makes me want to cook again.
You are very disciplined, Sarah. Sometimes I'm lazy and I leave the dishes until the morning. But you are right, it is better to do it now.
Well, Tom, we have talked a lot about food today. I am feeling very hungry now. All this talk about eggs, pasta, and cake has made me want to eat.
Me too, Sarah. My stomach is growling. That means my stomach is making noise because it is empty. I think I will make a sandwich after we finish this podcast.
That sounds like a good plan. But before we go, let's do a short review. We want to make sure our listeners remember the important words from today.
That is a great idea. Let's recap the main verbs we used for cooking. We talked about chop and slice.
Yes. Chop means to cut into small chunks, and slice means to cut into thin, flat pieces. We also talked about boil.
Boil is heating water until it is very hot and has bubbles. This is good for pasta, rice, and eggs. We also mentioned fry.
Fry means to cook food in a pan with oil or butter. We fry eggs, we fry meat, and we fry vegetables. It makes food crispy.
We also talked about bake. Bake means to cook food inside the oven. We bake cakes, bread, and cookies.
And don't forget, mix and stir. To mix is to combine ingredients together. To stir is to move a spoon around in a pot or bowl.
We also talked about the meals of the day. breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, and dinner in the evening.
And we mentioned some kitchen tools: knife, spoon, pan, pot, oven, and fridge. These are words you will use every day in the kitchen.
And finally, the flavors: sweet, like sugar or cake; salty, like chips or ocean water; fresh, like a salad.
Excellent review, Tom. I hope our listeners wrote these words down in their notebooks. Writing new words helps you remember them.
Yes, keeping a vocabulary notebook is a very good habit. Try to write a sentence with each new word. For example, I chopped the onion.
Or, I like sweet cake. Simple sentences are the best way to start.
Now, we have a little task for you, our wonderful listeners. We want to hear from you.
Yes, please tell us in the comments, what is your favourite food to cook? Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
And what is one thing you can cook very well? Can you make a good sandwich? Can you make a great soup? We really want to know.
Don't be shy. You can write just one short sentence in the comments. For example, I like to cook pasta. That is perfect.
We read every comment and we love to see you practicing your English. It makes us very happy to see our community growing.
Also, if you enjoyed this podcast and found it helpful, please do us a big favour. Please subscribe to the Learn English Hub channel.
Yes, click that red subscribe button. And please click the like button, the thumbs up, if you liked this video. It helps other students find our lessons.
When you subscribe and like the video, it tells YouTube that this is a good lesson. It helps us make more videos for you in the future.
And don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you have a friend who is learning English, send them this link. You can learn together.
Learning with a friend is always more fun. You can practice speaking to each other. You can pretend to cook together in English.
Imagine that. Standing in the kitchen saying, "Please pass the salt," or "Please chop the carrot" in English. That is great practice.
We really encourage you to practice a little bit every day. You do not need to study for hours. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day is enough.
Listen to a podcast while you wash the dishes. Read a short article while you eat breakfast. Speak to yourself while you're in the shower.
Every little bit helps. You are doing a great job, and we are very proud of you. Learning a language is a long journey, but you are not alone.
We are here with you every step of the way. We believe in you. Keep trying, keep speaking, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Mistakes are how we learn. If you burn the toast, you learn to use less heat next time. If you say a word wrong, you learn the correct way. It is all part of the process.
That is a perfect comparison, Sarah. Burned toast is just a lesson. So, thank you all so much for listening to us today.
Thank you